Another record for Bitcoin.
Is the cryptocurrency worth the risk?
Volatility in Bitcoin and other digital currencies is raising more than just a few eyebrows.
Oh, but Bitcoin has now fallen below 6,000.
The price of the virtual currency hit its lowest level in nearly 8 months this morning.
Getting a lot of people asking, is now the right time to buy? And the short answer is no. Like any new technology, you need new adopters to come in to make it more valuable. And in terms of Google searches, they're way down from the peaks back in December and January.
Bitcoin still works great today. It's a great store of value. I think it works really well in terms of digital transactions, and I think it's a great example of security. I mean, in 10 years, not a single person has entered a fraudulent entry on the blockchain. That's trillions of dollars of on-chain transactions. None of them have proven to be fraudulent.
There's a big debate publicly going on about whether there should be more or less regulation. And I think from our standpoint, it's really about regulatory clarity. Clarity will allow institutions to come in more than anything else. The institutions don't like to invest into uncertainty. And so we're just taking the most conservative approach that we can.
Here's what I find interesting about Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Bitcoin in orange, Ethereum in the blue. Here's your lows that you've had before. Now, what's interesting is Bitcoin is right on the lows, in fact, breached it a bit, but Ethereum did not. So relative value-wise, Ethereum has been trading a little bit better than Bitcoin. So if I were going to be long this market, and as I am, I would overweight Ethereum at this point in time.
Unfortunately, the same model that told us that we're going to 5,900 is telling us that there's more blood to come. It's calling a 62% chance of a bear market, and a bear market means that we're going to test 5350 as the next point. And there's a 62% chance of that. There's about a 16% chance of a bull market, but to confirm the bull market, we're going to need to test 7,400 with high volume. So right now, my money is on the market continuing to go down and going down to about 5350, which is the next stop. And the time horizon there is in about the next 2 weeks. And if you understand the technology and you're a bull, then now is a great time to be buying. We know that there were 27,000 blockchain startups in 2017. In the first 6 months of 2018, there are 28,000 blockchain startups. There's a huge venture capital scene, and the blockchain is progressing, and this thing isn't going away. If you're day trading, or you're trading in the next week or 2 weeks, I'm calling 5350 in the next week or two, and so you could possibly take a short position, and there's probably 10% in it.
So you got to understand how you got to 20,000. You got to 20,000 because the basis of people who truly believe in Bitcoin was joined by many people who jumped on the bandwagon. That was purely speculation. I don't think you get all the way back to 20,000, but I do think that you need to establish a base whereby the people who really believe in the future of Bitcoin consolidate, and then that provides you a lift up. And that we're not seeing. So I suspect that if you look 10 to 15 years down the road, we will have digital currencies, but the public sector will have involvement in them. It will not be pure Bitcoin. But the blockchain technology, take that seriously.
Is there a price at which you'd buy it?
Yeah, there is.
What's that price?
I've said in the past around 5,000.
So the volatility has actually dropped as the price has dropped, which is actually a problem, because if you're investing in Bitcoin, it's essentially a call option. You want as much volatility as possible to have as much chance that Bitcoin goes to 50,000, 100,000, 1 million, whatever that high number is. So as volatility drops and the price drops, it actually is a bad thing for the market, especially since it's only about a 200 billion market cap asset, which is de minimis in the grand scheme of things. In 2013 to 2015, we went from 1,200 to 200, from 2015 to 2017, 200 to 20,000. So we've done these sort of moves before. I think the time span is going to shorten because you have many more people involved in the market and who have invested capital and resources to be able to trade this asset class. And so now that we have more visibility, more people talking about it, the time between an aggressive bear market and an aggressive bull market, I think is going to shorten. But we're one positive regulatory decision away, maybe an ETF, approved by the SEC, to climbing through 20,000 and even to 50,000 by the end of the year.
I think the reason Bitcoin looks really good here is the cost of mining is around 7,000 fully loaded, and the difficulty is rising. So by the end of the year, it's going to be close to 9,000. Bitcoin's historically traded at 2.5 times its mining cost. So it's not out of the question that it could be over 20,000 by the end of the year.